Morning everyone. So Elsa and I are just out here doing some more fencing today. So earlier this summer when we were down here haying, we had a cow elk and her calf run right through this section of fence here. So I just ran down here to staple it back up and see if I needed to splice any wires. But luckily it looks like I just have to put a few more staples in here and she should be good. And I'm just going to do a little lap around our hay fields here, just check on the fence. Because eventually later this fall we'll be putting our cows down here and I just want to make sure everything's ready to go for that. And I know down here on this fence that goes north and south before you get into the river pasture, I got to put up these pivot gates that we take down every summer so our pivot can go through there. So I've got about 4 of those gates I got to put back up. And then the same thing up here on this upper end, I got a couple gates I need to close and wire back together where our pivot goes through. So I already went over all this fence earlier this spring, so it shouldn't take much work. It should still be in pretty good shape. Just want to do a little drive-by and make sure no animals or something ran through it, and we got a broken section somewhere I don't know about. Hurry it up, I'm gonna leave you. Got it? Don't drop it. Okay, move your hands. So we got this one put back together. So we got 3 more. This one, the post broke on me, I don't know, a couple years ago. I just haven't gotten around to fixing it because I didn't want to put too much effort into it, because I'd like to build something different here where I don't have to, bring these two sides of the fence together to close it. But I'd like to build something different that allows the pivot to go through here and then we keep the fence up. So I just haven't really spent too much time fixing this. Just got her farmer rigged back up with baling twine and fencing wire. I lost my helper though. Ellis decided he's gonna go for a run. I don't know, you can't hardly see him now. He's all the way halfway up the field. So I guess I'm gonna have to drive up there and grab him. What are you doing?
Well, I was running.
Just running? Yeah. You're going a long ways.
Yeah, it's a long ways.
That's almost a 1/4 mile you just ran. You know that?
That's a long ways.
That's a long ways. Okay. Okay, watch out, buddy. There we go. Run must have worn him out. Huh, Elsie, tired? So we brought in our last couple bulls off the range tonight, and of course we stuck them in here with the bulls that we already had home, and they had to take to fighting. So we've got these 2 fighting in here, and we've got these other 2 fighting over here. And these bulls fought for so long that I remembered, I think it was a video talking about how people put vinegar on the bulls before they put them out with each other, and it kind of prevented them from fighting. So I ran back to the house and grabbed some vinegar and a syringe and sprayed them as much as I could. And so I don't know if it was because these bulls had been fighting so long and they were tired, or if the vinegar actually helped. But it seemed like shortly after they quit fighting. Morning everyone. So I'm just running down here to Randall's this morning to go over the fences here in this next pasture that we're going to be moving into. The fences should be in pretty good condition because they were gone over earlier this spring. Bicite going over everything again before we turn the cows in, just to make sure nothing during the summer has happened, because we have a fair amount of wildlife here. We get a lot of white-tailed deer and some elk moving through. So a lot of times, you can get an elk or deer run through your fence and they rip the wires off the posts or break a few strands of wire. So that's what I'm looking for here. Just want to make sure everything's in decent condition before we turn the cows in. So you can see the difference here between these 2 pastures. So this is one of the pastures that the cows have been in since we came off the range a few weeks ago. This pasture I'm standing in now is one that hasn't been touched all summer. So looking down this fence line, you see how much has been grazed off and how much more is over on this other side. They don't really love this tall dead grass, but you look down in here and there's still quite a bit of green once you brush that dead stuff aside. There should be a good amount of feed in here for them. So we're moving the cows from the pasture where they've been watering at and the hay fields where they've been doing most of their grazing, and we're going to move them into this pasture here. We're not going to push the cows into this next pasture, but we're just going to open up the gates and then the cows can come in here as they want and start moseying around. So looking out here across this hay field, you can see how much these cows have eaten this alfalfa down. It's looking a lot more brown and not so green anymore. Same thing over here in this four-way piece. The cows have really mowed this down and they really cleaned it up really good. We had quite a bit of second growth that came up from after we cut earlier this summer, and there's really good fall feed for them. So now that these cows have gotten all this four-way eaten off this piece here, we're going to start looking at getting ready to plow this up, or at least disc it up. We're not exactly sure what we're going to do right now. We might chisel plow it up, or we might just run the disc over it. Really just depends on how the ground works up. Like I've been saying in the last couple of videos, we've been pretty dry this year, so this ground's fairly hard, and we'll see what we can do with it. So looking at the weather, looks like we got a little bit of a storm coming in Wednesday night and Thursday. So we're hoping that little bit of moisture will hopefully soften up this ground a little bit more, just to make it a little bit more workable. And looking at next week, you can see how much the temperatures drop, and looks like we got a little bit more moisture coming in next week, and looks like it's finally going to start feeling like fall around here. So throughout the day, as we're going about other stuff, we'll keep an eye on these cows and see if they're making it into this other pasture. I'm sure they'll find it here soon enough, and it seems like once one cow finds it, the whole herd finds it before too long. You guys probably can't see it real well with this camera. If I'm just driving home from the road, you can see that there's a good amount of cows out there in that pasture that we just fixed the fence in. So they'll all figure it out here before too long. What are you doing? So I got Stevie set out in the sun this morning to try to keep her somewhat warm. I just ran down here to grab some tin, and hopefully we can get a roof put on that chicken run today. My stepdad Don came over and helped me put this tin up, and sure made the job a lot easier than doing it by myself. Hang on. Are we doing this backwards? What do you mean? Should this be on the top?
Oh, I don't know, maybe. Maybe you're right. I don't know. It's a little late now.
Well,
I mean,
I can slide it under, I think.
oh, I see what you're saying. Hold on. Let me get my drill over here so I can help you. Yeah, that's probably better, huh?
That's the way.
Okay, let me, there. Yeah, that's set.
That looks a lot better.
Yeah, that's better. Okay.
You got it? Yeah.
Great.
I forgot to get a video after we got all done with this, but happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really good. I'm hoping these next storms that come through will wash some of that dirt and dust off of there. If not, I'll get up there with a hose and maybe a shop broom and scrub it a bit and clean it up. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching. Have a good day.